Okay, so this is gonna be a demonstration video with how to go about with using your references to using your references in order to do your drawing of the handscape project. All right, so very first thing that you want to do is you want to look through your thumbnails. I apologize. I had to look for it in the folder, but these are like the thumbnail ideas that I had from the other day. You remember you supposed to have 5 different ones, and just real important. I'm going to zoom in closely. Make sure that you have at least 2 hands in the drawing, and then a landscape for the background. Okay, if you have trouble with like trying to create like a Nightmare of a Dream theme, it's okay. But the main thing I'm looking for is at least 2 hands and a landscape drawing in the back. So I made notes where you only drew like 1 hand, you need to include another hand. Make sure to think about how to incorporate that in your rough sketch today. Okay, so if I look at a close up of my picture here, like I need images of like hands here, the background. I was gonna do like an oceanscape for the background, and then you like images of like open mouth with the teeth falling. So I need like a couple different images in order to do like a more finalized drawing of this thumbnail that I did. Alright, so you guys spend some time to look up images. These are the images that I came up with. I was going to use this for my background. This is like for my mouth. I had like different pictures of different types of teeth, just to give me like an idea of like how I want to draw the teeth. And also I did incorporate these water splashes because I want to actually do some water splashes in the background here of the picture. But using these images though will help you to create your handscape drawing. Okay, so you want to spend a couple of minutes. Spend maybe 10 or 15 at most minutes to look up these images. All right, so in the meantime though, like to start with the drawings though, my suggestion is to always start with the background first. Okay, so whatever images you're using for the background, I want you to start off with that first. So, basically, I'm just drawing what I see in the picture here, and I'm going to draw lightly with this. So, you want to start off with your horizon line here, and do draw lightly with the pencil. I'm drawing a little bit darker so you guys can see what I'm drawing. And then, I have some clouds in the background. Okay, and don't worry about like the, it being looking, or the rough sketch looking detailed. Again, this is a rough sketch. So basically, you're just going, just get an idea of like how you want the picture to look. I'm having some clouds back here. There's a big one over here. And I'm just thinking about like this arrangement of clouds. I'm gonna have a big one over here. Okay, but I'm just kind of like laying out like where things are in my picture right now. Very similar to like the thumbnails, but instead of like thinking about just like really basic shapes, I'm just thinking about like overall shapes. And then I was going to have some water down here. Okay, again, I'm drawing this all very lightly because, again, I'm always going to change up this drawing. Alright, so this is just like a basic idea of my background here that I have. And again, I can always have the reference to refer back to when I add more details to it. Okay, and then the next thing that you want to draw, because now you have your landscape here, so the next thing that we have to draw is going to be the picture of the hands. Okay, so I'm actually going to zoom in close to this picture of the hands. So this is actually a picture that I took taken in class. So you might want to ask your neighbor if they can help you with taking a picture of the hands, or if you're able to do it with like your own hands and just take a picture with the other hand, you can do that. But I want you guys to actually make your own reference images of the hands that you want to draw. Okay, because no matter like how you look for it on the internet, the hands on the internet is always going to look a little bit differently than how you expect it. So since we have like our own reference, though, this is like exactly how I want my hands to look. But if I look on the internet though, there may be hands that are like a higher or a lower angle, or it may be just like really flat like this with the hands. So in order for us to get like the angle that we want, because I want it to actually tilt it a little bit more like this. It's just real important to just take our own images of this type of reference, okay? Because this is like the one thing that we do have a little bit of control over in terms of your references. But basically the same idea. We're just gonna draw the hands. Just like how we practiced before, though. Use rectangles for the hands. And again, my rectangles are gonna be more skewed because I'm at like a more foreshortened angle of the hands. So it's gonna look more like this type of a rectangle here. My ovals over here. You want to just try your best to draw how you want the picture to look. Yeah, I'm actually gonna draw like the second oval here, just because it's gonna show up on there, and then the rest is gonna like pop out like this, pop out at an angle like that. I'm just drawing my picture, drawing what I'm seeing though, and my fingers are very foreshortened, so like this thumb is even smaller than what it is expected. Gonna curve over here. Again, I'm just like looking at my picture though, and I'm just drawing what I see. It might be easier if I have it over here like this. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more so you can see. But I'm just drawing the picture though, drawing what I see. I have the fingers here. They're very foreshortened, so they're actually a lot shorter. But I'm just drawing the picture as it looks. Okay, so this should be a little bit easier than drawing the actual hands, because now we actually have a picture to look. But I know some of you guys have like trouble looking at your own hand and then drawing what you see. So this will actually be a little bit easier. But it's good practice though to just draw from life, just because it forces you to draw. This is more of like me copying the picture. So I have my one hand here, and then the other hand is going to be over here. So I'm just going to do my rectangle. Again, I have a very skewed rectangle here. And you know what? Since I'm actually gonna draw like just a very basic shape, since like my hands, I can actually break down the shapes even more. So like this is more of like another rectangle for my fingers, and then I'm gonna just draw like my thumb over here. But this is a very foreshortened hand. It's not gonna follow like some of those rules that we talked about before. I'm just gonna draw the hand out like this. And then I'm going to add more details to it. So this is going to curve out here. The palm ends. Draw the fingers like this. Breaking up the parts. I'm just drawing what my picture looks though. That's pretty much all I'm doing right now. You want to have all these reference images just because it'll help you to already figure out like how you want the hand draw, how you want the picture to look entirely. I'm just going darker with the lines here. I just take more of my time though with the drawing though. Yeah, this is a rough sketch though, so don't worry about things looking perfect though, but everything should be like really figured out though, refined a little bit more than your rough sketches. Alright, so I got my hands here. I'm gonna curl out like that. Yeah, I want to spend a little bit more time cleaning this up. So, I have my hands here though. So I got my hands here. And then I want to figure out like where I want to place my other thing. So, I actually want to place like one of the mouths up here, just like out of my thumbnails. So I got like a mouth here. I got two in the background over here. So what I would do. What I should have done before though was I should have just like figured out like the shape of the hand. So this is like a shape of like a triangle here. So just having like just the general shapes of where things are. Like this is a triangle here that I'm making. You want to have that figured out like ahead of time. And then like my mouth, the mouth over here, I actually want it to be up here. So I'm actually going to just do ovals for the mouth. So, I want my mouth to be about like this size here. Then the other one's going to be like about that size. And the small one over here. There's going to be one over there. And there's going to be one over here. So I'm really playing around with like that idea of the symmetrical part. See, this is like another problem I made too. I actually wanted to shift the hands a little bit more to the right side. Okay, but this is like something that you have to think about in your rough sketch. Like now I realize that I actually want the hands to be a little bit more in the middle here, because I wanted to play around with this idea of having things be even on both sides. So, when I move on to my final, though, that's gonna be something I'm gonna think about. So that's why it's real important to have a rough sketch on like what you're doing. This will give you like a real good idea of how you want that picture to look. So, I actually want to use this picture of them now. So, using the reference, I'm gonna just shape out the mouth that I made here. Whoops. Lights one out. And I'm just going to draw out that mouth. Okay, but in a way though, these references though will help to, really figure out that drawing, how it's supposed to look. Okay, I'm totally fine just to copy the references. If you want to, you can stylize it, change it up make it your own. But it's very easy for me to determine if you used a reference image to help you with your drawing, or if you didn't use anything to help you out. Okay, it's very easy for me to tell if you use something to help you with your drawing or not. So I'm drawing on the mouth here. And then I was going to draw some pictures of like the teeth falling. So those going to be, it's going to just do some ovals for the teeth here. And you really think about like the way the teeth are falling. I was going to have like a bunch on the hands here too. Some of them are going to overlap here. You're just getting like a really good idea of like the drawing and how it's going to look. So, don't be afraid though of changing, making adjustments to the drawing. Like, I'm about to erase like some of these lines now that I made. Because, now I have to add the teeth to, on the hand. Okay, but these are like all things that, you want to have like figured out. That way when you work on the final drawing, the big drawing, then, you'll already have like a roadmap of like how things will look already in terms of your drawings. Alright. Maybe I might not have its tooth there. So you can really play around like the idea of like changing up things. Like in this case, I would have to like play around with not including the tooth on there. All right. I would just like go over like the details, add more things to it, and I'll show you guys the final drawing when I'm done with this later.